Hopefully the cat doesn't do anything stupid.
Okay, I thought you guys froze. Too sweet. Whoop, whoop.
And we are officially live. So welcome everybody to the 950 Club Anime Podcast. But today we are going to be the 950 Club Wrestling Podcast. This is going to be open mic session number 3. And I'm Jamaal, and I am also here with the co-host and editor, producer, co-creator of the 950 Club Anime Podcast, good family man, good hardworking man, and we couldn't do this thing without him. So first, we're going to bring on our co-host, Jack. Welcome, Jack.
Welcome, guys. How you guys doing? Now we got a special feature because we're branching out with our live streaming, and I'd like to thank Jamaal for assembling us together because we got the goods. Now, a diverse thing about the 950 Club is that not only anime, we're also secretly big wrestling fans, and it's been a bonding experience with me and Jamaal, and then years later meeting Dave and meeting Josh now. We're just right off the bat talking about wrestling right as we have FaceTime. So I'm looking forward to this, and it's after WrestleMania. So this is it. It's not only just WrestleMania, it's all the wrestling. So we're just going to dive right into what's happened this past week with wrestling. Oh my God.
It's going to be fun. So first I'll introduce our first guest. This is a very good friend of mine. This is a story of the internet and social media going correct. Because I met John, he was like one of the first people I met on Twitter. Like when I opened up my Twitter account, he was like one of the first followers I had. And he's become a good friend of mine since then. I don't even remember how long it's been because like I don't know what happened to my old Twitter account. I don't know if I changed my account or something or whatever. But I've been it for 10 years. Yeah, possibly. But good dude, knowledgeable of sports, wrestling, and all things in between. He's still mad at me for sending Charlotte's nudes over to her when they leaked.
Oh, wow.
Now. I'm sorry that I did
that. Can that be like our first discussion?
That was the worst news I ever seen in my life.
He's still mad at me about it. But overall, great dude, man. And I love to see his transformation as a person. He has cool new hair, sharp dresser, digging into his history and culture more. I'm very proud of him for that. So everybody, welcome Josh to the show.
Hey,
welcome, Josh.
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing out there?
Boy.
What's up? I'm just ready to get this show started. Have a little fun, talk a little wrestling. We're gonna talk WrestleMania, but we also gonna talk a little other stuff that happened too as well. I'm just excited. We'll keep it short and sweet because I'm ready to get started on everything.
All right. So then, last but not least, we're gonna bring in a good friend of ours. This man was another person that worked with Jack and Edwin, our other co-host, at the bookstore. And as soon as he came in, man, he came in with a bunch of energy. And once Jack and I found out that he liked wrestling, it was on from there. And from there, we just like formed a bond and kinship, and we started going to all the shows together. We went to All In together. We saw the first NXT takeover that was outside of Full Sail. We saw Jinder Mahal beat Randy Orton.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Don't hinder the gender. Don't hinder the gender.
We saw We saw Ciampa turn on Gargano. We saw War Games. We saw a lot of stuff together, man, and there's going to be many, many, many more times that we go out and see each other. Eric is still mad at him for having bad weed when we went to Fogo de Chao, but he's since redeemed himself from that. And retired but proficient battle rapper. Everybody, please welcome Dave to the show.
Hey, what's going on,
Hey,
everybody?
Dave. Hey, Dave.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be a good one, this one, man. Glad to be on the podcast, man. Glad to have you guys have me on the show, man. It's definitely gonna be a good one. And we finna talk nothing but wrestling. Come on.
Yeah, and Dave's like me and Jamaal combined. He's been from day one onwards. Like me and Jamaal had breaks in between. I'm not sure about you, Josh, but yeah, Dave, not only just wrestling, but fighting as well. And yeah, the whole 9 yards.
The whole man, I got kids, bro. It's just
Yeah.
they want to do the same thing. So it's like, look, let's watch it. All right, okay.
And spiritual kindred to to Slater. I got kids.
All right, you know what? That's a good place to start. That's a real good place to start.
Slater.
No, like so like when we do the anime podcast, we always ask people's origin story with anime, right?
Oh,
So
for
let's
wrestling.
get,
Then.
so let's start, since we're on Dave. Let's start with Dave. Dave, what's your origin story with wrestling? What got you into it? And how was your journey with wrestling been?
Man, always been an avid wrestling fan. Believe it started out with my great grandma, honestly.
Wow.
Adamant. She used to go to the territories wrestling matches, Jerry the King Lawless stuff, like all type of stuff, bro.
So
And,
Midwest, like Tennessee or so. Gotcha.
Yeah, Tennessee. Them little NWA regions and all that type of stuff. Like when wrestling back then. So
Wrestling.
she never had a chance to go to like any actual shows. But she just, it was like watching soap operas. You know how some people just watch soap operas, people watching wrestling and doing the moves on us when we was kids.
Wow.
But yeah, for the most part though, I've always been a fan of every single entity within wrestling. So I watch everything from New Japan to Ring of Honor to even the indie stuff like GCW, CZW, all that type of stuff. And plus the original franchise stuff like WWE, WCW. But yeah, it's been a great journey the whole time.
Yeah. Awesome.
And I'd also like to add that like there's nobody in pop culture that Dave does not recognize. Like, when we worked together at the airport, he would catch everybody. It didn't matter if it was a wrestler, some actor from the 70s. It didn't matter who it was. Chocolate
Tom
Ball,
Green,
Nia Long. He saw all of them. Who was it? Seth Rollins?
Seth Rollins, Jeff Hardy, Kevin Nash. I done ran into a lot of them, bro. But the one that was like the biggest asshole was Seth Rollins. Okay. Everybody was cool. They was talkative, conversing. He was just on the move, bro. Like, what?
Cool.
The worst one for me was Randy Orton.
Yes.
Multiple times. His dad, Bob, nice dude. Randy was awful. And it's not like anybody was stopping him. He came up to the register buying like a magazine or something. It just like being a complete jerk. Terrible. And it painted like I've always held a grudge for him about that. I did.
However, you met his father too, and he actually was pretty nice.
Bob Orton Sr. was really nice. Orton Sr. was really nice.
He just didn't teach his kid right.
three times. But I mean, who knows, man? He has a well-known history of like his past had like drugs and whatever. So I don't know. Maybe he was just tripping one day or something. But Maybe he's nicer now, but Randy Orton, trash.
Wow.
The times I saw.
Well, with my experience in the airport, I only saw Big E and a very tired Big E. He had no energy. Like, this is real Big E. And then who else did I see? Right after I saw Big E, I saw a Chicago made Ali. I saw Ali, and I was like, Ali.
Mustafa.
Yeah. I'm like, Chicago made, bro. You still make me proud. And he gave me like a nod. And then 5 minutes later, I saw Jeff Hardy eating McDonald's. Hey, that's actual quick protein, so I don't blame him. But yeah, also in the airport, it was the third takeover, the one I missed, unfortunately. And it was Walter at the time, Walter and Imperium. Like, he was big dude.
Yeah, he was big.
And I was during my break, so I was coming back in the store, and I already seen the wrestlers. I'm an NXT guy, and I'm a big time fan of Dakota Kai. So I missed my opportunity seeing Dakota Kai in that little stretch there. But I saw Walter, I saw Swerve. I was like, Swerve.
Swerve
and then, yeah.
Swerve is cool as hell.
Yeah. Oh, and the Forgotten Sons. And I was like, I already forgot about them.
I completely forgot about the Forgotten Sons.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, you ever ran into any wrestlers?
You said me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I've been to WrestleMania, so I've definitely seen some wrestlers before. But I work at the airport too, though. So recently, like Solo Sikoa and the Usos was at the
Nice.
airport. Yeah.
Bro, I would have lost it, bro.
I was trying to get Solo to crack, but he wouldn't crack.
He stayed in character.
But I remember when I went to WrestleMania, Jamaal know I've been to WrestleMania. I went to 32 and 33. So I got to see people. Got to see Paul Heyman. Got to see the Usos, Bray Wyatt. But my favorite wrestler I got to see that day was Little JoJo. That was my favorite wrestler.
Wow.
She ain't no wrestler. She was just
Yeah.
Hey, she was slugging. JoJo was JoJo, and on my soul.
Yeah. I was like,
Bray Wyatt is a lucky man, boy.
Very lucky.
Yeah,
He went above his ground on that one.
I guess I got to call her Mercedes Monet. I saw her. When I saw her in person, I'm like, damn, she tiny.
She's
Yeah.
She's
She is tiny. And then I was walking down the street, and I happened to see like, what's the old boy name? What's his name? He was like Solomon Crow in NXT. What's his real name? You know,
dude at Impact. Sammy Callahan.
Yeah, so he was him, Johnny Gargano, and like two other indie dudes just walking down the street, and everybody's just walking past. They didn't know who the fuck they were.
Especially the size of Johnny.
and there was a couple of kids that was like, oh, that was just Johnny Gargano walked down the street. And then somebody else that was walking with him was like, who? Because they were so tiny when you saw them. They looked like
TV makes you look 10 times bigger. I ain't gonna.
Yeah.
Man. But I've seen MJF, but they were just like walking past. That was when I went to All Out 2019. Yeah, so I got to meet some wrestlers, have conversations with them.
I remember you saying you met Cross at All Out too.
Yeah.
Back when he was cold.
Yeah.
Before he grew out hair, which was an awful mistake.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he looks like I hate to say, he looks so cuddly now, man.
Terrible mistake.
He don't look like an intimidating presence, man. He's better with the shaved head, man.
Hey, but you know what they tried to put him in the what mask was that? Who Abdullah the Butcher's mask?
Oh yeah.
Vince put him in.
Bro, that was terrible.
That was
terrible. Oh man, he looked like what you call them? What you call them? When people that like, I don't want to get explicit.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He was like one of
Yes, he did. That was awful. So
like a bad guy at a Van Damme movie, boy. Oh my soul.
Jack, what's your wrestling origin story?
Well, humble origins. I remember watching like the old school stuff with like the first record action figure I got, one of the very first few, like we're talking like the time I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys and stuff, was Ted DiBiase, of all things. Ted DiBiase. Yeah. And he had
$1 million man.
yeah, he had a green jacket. He looked like Bob Seger. I'm like, this guy's kind of cool. But then eventually got one of the plushies, and my one cousin got Hulk Hogan. I got the Ultimate Warrior. So I used to wrestle with that. It was more like, yeah, I know of it. And then, in grade school, all my friends, doing the DX salute, and all of them had cable, so they watched Raw and SmackDown to Origins there. Okay, and yeah, I would watch the pay-per-views. The first rental pay-per-view I did was when they wrestled in the Great Britain for the first time. That was an interesting pay-per-view. Jazz is topless in that one too. It's weird. It's a weird pay-per-view. I was like, oh my God. I was like 10 or 11. And I'm like, holy cow. So, it was during that stretch, as though everyone was a fan, was Stone Cold, The Rock. And I got a little bit more into ECW, though. I was more an ECW guy. And I watched late at night, past my bedtime, watching Paul Heyman and trying to think of I'm trying to think of the announcer's name. Joey Styles.
Yeah, Joey Styles.
He'd be like, tonight on ECW, we have a new match between Just Incredible.
Excalibur.
Yeah, him.
Hey, that was perfect.
The original Excalibur. But so watching ECW. But watching ECW, I saw the greatest match of all time, and still top in my book is RVD versus Jerry Lynn, and television championship match. If you have the time, watch it. It's the greatest match ever.
You can watch all 7 other matches.
Yeah. In ECW alone, like just pick one out of the hat. They have over 1,000 great matches. But at the time too, it was the dying days of ECW. So the indie kind of resonated with me. And looking back, ECW was far from perfect. Sandman is sloppy, but still freaking cool. John Moxley should take some notes.
I agree.
Yes, badly. Yeah. But during their ruthless aggression, I was like, okay, it's like a meme, whatever. Like John Cena, whatever. I don't care. I did like Batista. By the time the Evolution kind of died out, that's when I turned the page. I'm like, I haven't watched wrestling since that stretch. But then I would say in those in between years, I would go to indie productions or indie wrestling with the likes of AAW. And my friend, she worked for them and she knew of Seth Rollins. And then we would see like the crappiest of the crap. We saw Honky Tonk Man, 20 years retired, Jerry Lynn. I saw Jerry Lynn's final match. But then little, I was seeing these interesting wrestlers with the likes of Tommaso Ciampa. He wrestled quite a lot in AEW, and I saw his final match before he got called up for WWE at the time. And then who else I see? Johnny Gargano, Rich Swann, and Heidi Lovelace, Ruby Riott. And those are the ones I remember the most. And they all had like a little bit different, a little bit more arsenal. And one match I hope we talk about later on, the Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes, that was like a typical AEW match. These really good guys, they what they're doing, not too hardcore, pretty much straight up the bat. I think, to be honest, I barely saw any blood in AEW, which is a weird demeanor with modern day indie wrestling. They think of AEW, oh, we're going to have blood and guts every match. Not quite opposite. You would be amazed with some of the promotions that keep it clean. But but it was like I still had held down from my well, I don't know. It was just like a curious phase of mine where I just didn't care. But then I meet Jamaal, and one of the greatest shifts in my lifetime. I randomly was chanting "John Cena sucks" because we heard a ringtone. It was John Cena's song, and Jamaal continued John Cena sucks. And we unloaded. I don't know how we didn't talk about wrestling. And I talked about everything I knew about it. So it's like it was like a outside the box moment for me, being like, I like wrestling and Jamaal likes wrestling. Let's talk more about wrestling. Then later on, Jamaal reintroducing me to NXT and all that, and it's written for myself. I haven't looked back since. And yeah, it's not perfect. You hope for the best with AEW from the beginning. I was that guy, but here we are now. We're talking about WrestleMania 39, which happens to be one of my all-time favorite WrestleManias.
We're going to get into that.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So you started the John Cena sucks thing.
Yeah, it was a ringtone. It was a ringtone.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
somebody's ringtone was that.
That was back when you had to purchase ringtones for 99.
Just around that time.
Or get the little background hookup like on the website.
Yeah.
I think John Cena used to have fun with that though. He's danced to it and everything.
Hey, he's been the pro. I do admit that. I don't have ill will. It's just fun saying it. It's similar to Kurt Angle with Kurt. You suck. You suck. It's a sign of respect.
It is a sign of respect now.
I got a funny Kurt Angle story, but I'm gonna save it.
All right, so I'm gonna do my origin story. I'm gonna do it real quick though, because I want to. But so I started watching wrestling like '94. Well, that's back. Undertaker was the man. Stuff. So I started the first wrestling match I saw was Undertaker versus Yokozuna in a casket match. And I saw the Undertaker, he was wrestling them, and then all these guys just started jumping on and stuff, and he was just beating all their fucking asses. And then they finally got him that casket, and then they just after the casket they lifted him up in the arena, and I forgot exactly what he said. Undertaker will never die, and the lightning came down. I was like, oh man, I was hooked in. So I was hooked, and then I was telling my uncles about it, and they was like, NWA, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, Magnum TA, that's that fake shit. It's like, you don't know about when Ric Flair come to the chase, when he used to come to the chase, and Abdullah the Butcher and Bruiser Brody, and they'll just start talking. And then they said Ric Flair, and I seen Ric Flair on WC. You talking about that old ass dude?
Yeah,
that old guy.
Hey, he was goated though. He was goated.
But see, I didn't know Ric Flair because I was born in '88. Right. So when I'm born in '88, Ric Flair, that's when he doing his thing with Steamboat and Funk and all that. I didn't know about this stuff. First introduction I had to Ric Flair was that old ass version I saw in WCW. And they made him cut his hair and all that stuff. And had him jobbing out the Hulk Hogan. Because my first memories of Hulk Hogan was in WCW. Because I didn't see the Hulk Hogan and WWF, and he was the big star and stuff like that. So when for the Monday Night Wars, obviously that's when I became super fan. Just you'll see WCW, then you see WWF, and then my family actually ordered Bash at the Beach '96, and when Hogan turned, everybody in the house was going crazy. I didn't know what the big deal was because I didn't know how big a star he was.
Right.
So they all going crazy, like what the hell? I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, I never got into Hulk either, especially at a young age. I just didn't get it.
I got my own thoughts about
y'all was taking y'all vitamins, bro.
I got my own thoughts about Hulk Hogan now.
Mania prayers, bro.
He got me blocked on Twitter though. When that stuff came out, with that racist stuff came out.
Yeah.
About him. So I sent a message to Hulk Hogan. You remember that old Booker T promo?
Oh,
I said, we look for you, nigga.
Yeah, I said Hulk Hogan. I said Hulk Hogan to tweet.
My bad.
I said Hulk Hogan to tweet. We coming for you, and I ain't gonna finish the last part.
Yeah.
Then he blocked me, and then today, it was somebody tweeted that 26 years to this day, the Booker T promo. So I know Hulk Hogan can't see it because I'm blocked. I sent a message to him. I said, we still coming for your bitch. Even though he can't see it.
he probably got a million of those as it happened. Oh man.
But the Monday Night Wars, man, it was just you got to see the NWO, man. They was just running roughshod in them. What brought WWF back was the Stone Cold Bret Hart stuff, man.
Yeah, that's I consider that the greatest match ever.
Yeah, they brought it back. Then you had DX, and then you just had the Attitude Era. I got my own thoughts about the Attitude Era. Attitude Era to me was great for its time, but there's some things you can nitpick about it and take apart. But
Absolutely.
But I never be one of those people that say the Attitude Era was overrated because it saved the business. So, well, not the business, but WWF. So
And it was popular television too.
It was popping on television. Whether you could look back at it now, you got to at that time. Wasn't nothing hotter on television, man.
It was a different.
WWE was competing with Jerry Springer and those type of shows, bro.
And Monday Night Football and stuff like that.
Yeah, football, yeah, sport.
And then so you when whatever something happened, you would tell your friends what happened at school the next day, and like, did you see what happened? Or you call your buddy on the phone.
You remember your first time seeing the puppies? Stop playing.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tennessee, that's yeah. Look at them puppies.
I think there's a lot of good stuff that's going on in wrestling right now, though. But it'll never be like that again.
No.
No.
Jerry Lawler would have been canceled.
Lita would have been canceled.
Yeah, Lita alone. Yeah.
Lita would have been canceled. Vince would have been canceled. There would have been a lot of stuff that would have been canceled. But again, that's like, you can't look at the past with today's lenses.
Yeah,
that's true.
It was a totally different time.
Yeah, even the hardcore stuff, like the Mick Foley match, for example, is that going to happen again? I doubt it.
In AEW.
Well, there was exceptions. Don't get me wrong, but the mentality,
that man off cage, bro.
It's only like two people in AEW that's like kind of like that wild style Foley type anyway. So it's not that,
It's not far off. Don't get me wrong. It's just like this is dangerous. This is dangerous.
It started a bad trend.
Yeah.
Started a bad trend. I'm sorry. I am so sick. This is a side note. I'm getting off track here, but I am so sick of table spots. I don't know why people love seeing people go through tables. It's not that impressive. It bothers the heck out of me that every match we run the tables. The Dudleys are long gone, bro.
Yeah,
it annoys me when the women go do it and they can't even break the table.
No. And then with the Hell in Cell, the recent one in WrestleMania, that's like the only weapon that was like, come on, guys, come on. Because already in a cell.
I'll give my thoughts on that match because it's gonna be some stuff I'm gonna crap on that.
All right,
we're gonna get to that.
The entire WrestleMania. I'm gonna stay reserved for that. Like,
you guys are better than me.
We're gonna get to that.
That's probably gonna be the only match that I crap on.
You serious?
Yeah.
Debate. We'll hold the debate.
I hated that match. I ain't gonna lie.
All right. So let's.
Ooh, it's a lot.
We gotta get into this WrestleMania stuff. All right, hold on. Let me give you my origin story real quick. I was always a wrestling fan. I don't really know when I started. My grandfather was a big wrestling fan. I didn't really know because he passed away early, but I heard stories about it later. And I guess he used to take my mom to the wrestling matches. And so my mom is from the South and he was from North Carolina. So they were all about Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes and those guys. And my dad was from, he lived in Evanston his whole life. So he knew the Road Warriors and, the up north stuff. So they were like, nah, like Ric Flair is the man, not Hulk Hogan. What are you talking about? And so it just started a big family feud. And I guess I somehow caught into that at some point and started watching. And we went to the shows and stuff. We went to the house shows. We went to pay-per-views. And thankfully, we had that black box hookup. So we had all the pay-per-views and all of that. We had all that stuff live. So great time, man. And I still, if I look hard enough, I got a VHS with all sorts of Raw tapes and Nitro tapes and stuff on there. That was a wonderful time. Went through the Attitude Era, caught most of the Ruthless Aggression, kind of tailed off after that. I missed a lot of the Randy Orton, John Cena, Edge stuff.
Ruthless aggression.
Yeah, like the tail end of Ruthless Aggression. I was just like, but I would catch like the WrestleManias for the most part, and I'd always buy the game. And then once the WWE Network came out, that's when I really got back into the stuff. And then I caught NXT, and it was incredible. And I wish it went back to that formula, but it's never going to go back. And it's been on since then. Boom. Origin story out the way. All right, let's get into WrestleMania Night 1. So the first match, we had a cold open by Kevin Hart, who it was nice to see Kevin Hart, a big star. The first match was Austin Theory defeated John Cena in 11 minutes. So
Where to begin with this one? Because it's not the sloppiest match. I don't think it's the worst match, but definitely was like a weird. Yeah.
I agree, Jack. I agree.
Yeah.
It was like a John Cena match to me. I mean, look, first of all right, let me say this early, because this was a reoccurring problem throughout the show. The mics and the cameras for the ring, way too loud. You could very, very clearly hear them calling spots.
Oh, John especially.
Already notorious for that.
Yeah.
I heard him calling spots. I heard Bianca calling spots. I think I heard Edge call some spot. It was way too loud. It was way too loud. So that was a little off-putting, but it was, I mean, Cena hasn't really worked out or anything. This was the typical John Cena match. He called the match. Theory, to his credit, was able to execute, because a lot of people these days aren't able to call stuff in the ring and execute.
Yeah, or they refuse to do the lead or the other way around.
Yeah.
But Austin Theory does both. He's flexible, very flexible.
He was flexible, and it was exactly what I expected, because it's not like Cena. It's not like, what was that, a year or two ago when Cena had that run when he was going against Roman?
Yeah.
He was where he had that summer of Cena or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could expect a little more. But now he's just coming in for a real quick one-off. This is exactly what I expected it to be. Austin Theory won. He should have won. I was fine with it.
I would say, I believe Austin Theory actually out Cena in that case. Like, he did, like, I mean, he did everything he could to beat Cena, for real, and came out on top. I mean, yeah, it took a low blow, but I mean, that's how you gonna beat Cena at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
How you gonna beat Super Cena? He came out with the kids, bro.
I got kids. I
like the interest with the Make-A-Wish kids, though. I thought it was pretty cool. But the match was what I thought it was gonna be. It's like John Cena's Hollywood star now. He's not about to do a whole bunch of stuff in the match and stuff like that. All you wanted to do was you brought them out because you got a big star like John Cena, so the crowd's gonna be loud. And John Cena proves that, like what I was telling Jamaal in the text, that your character and getting over is more important than what you do in the ring. Because John Cena didn't have to do a damn thing in that match, and that crowd was loud the whole fucking match. It was no point in that match where it was silent. It was always constant noise that entire match, and that's what you want in the opening match. You either want a match that's gonna steal the show, or you want a match that the crowd's gonna be involved in the whole time to get the show off on the right foot. So he came in, had standard match. Theory got the win, got over. That's all they needed to be.
Pass the torch. Pass the torch. They were saying it was gonna be Cena 2.0 anyway.
Yeah, so
John Cena pulled a Brock Lesnar. First match, 10 minutes, I'm out of there. That's what he did. That is the Brock Lesnar special.
About this man, Brock Lesnar, bruh. Let man, go ahead, keep going.
Speaking of opening matches,
no man, I'm on Monday. What happened Monday? Oh, come on.
We're gonna get to it.
We're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
Jack, you got anything else to add?
No, me and Jamaal do a back and forth on texting our predictions, and I do wild card upsets just to do it. And the wildest one I picked was John Cena over Austin Theory, mainly because I think Austin Theory is going to be pushed. Because Vince is back. He's going to at least fight Roman, maybe. I would say by Survivor Series at this rate.
Ooh, that's
I
possible.
agree.
Possible.
He's going to get elevated. He's
Yeah.
definitely going to get elevated at some point, and he should.
He just doesn't have that gotcha gimmick yet. It's more like I'm
He's
brash.
getting
Yeah.
Well, he got away from being under Vince McMahon, which was very helpful.
And away from the way.
And he's got that stink. Well, you know what? People forget that he was
He
getting
was with the way. I
he
just
was
thought
getting people forget he was getting pushed before the way even happened.
that too, but it was just a
He
weird.
was with Seth. The thing that halted his push was that whole wrestling Me Too thing.
Yeah. That too.
Because
Yeah.
there was allegations of him out because he came up during like the COVID era after that WrestleMania, and they completely pulled him off TV and rebranded him on NXT months later.
Yeah, because he was.
Hey, but you want to speak up?
He
You want to
was
speak
at
about it?
WrestleMania. What was the one that was at the COVID WrestleMania? He was,
Yeah, he was in the COVID WrestleMania.
There you
yeah,
go.
segment.
The bubble. He was in the bubble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good call. Good call.
The Thunderdome or some shit like
Yeah,
that. Whatever.
Yeah.
exactly.
And a lot of people say, "Oh, it wasn't a call up." It was a call up. They was
It was a
not.
call. It was a call.
He was
Vince
not.
loved him since day one. Wow.
He was-
It was a call up. It was him and Seth and Buddy. Like
Yeah.
it was a clear call up. But that allegation came out and they couldn't have him on TV. They had to get rid of him.
It's a lot of good wrestlers that ain't on TV. Like, and
You'd be amazed. Yeah.
yeah,
Just
like
who
I
else?
felt like a few matches could have been spectacular if they would have just, did it, the right way. But they could have instead of those. Oh, go ahead, Jack. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it was the first year I didn't even see the pre-show. I felt like one or two could have snuck in there.
I didn't even watch. I never watched
Yeah.
the show.
I don't think they have pre-show
All they
matches.
did was just run promos.
Yeah, they didn't do it. They didn't do pre-show matches this year.
Ever,
Yeah.
they
since,
just ran
ever since they
promos.
went to that 2-night WrestleMania, they don't do pre-show matches anymore.
Thank goodness, because I'm not watching it.
I'm sorry, Dave. What we're about to say.
No. Well, actually, if you think about it, Stand and Deliver was on a Saturday.
Ah,
Saturday
It
after
came on like sometime around like before.
Yeah. It was Saturday. afternoon.
yeah.
Yeah, and then Friday you had SmackDown, and you had the Hall of Fame. So
Okay.
it was a whole week load of wrestling. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Stand and Deliver, they was in LA, man. That show had to be early, man. They was there 10, 11 o'clock. Shit.
Yeah, they were out there early. They were
But the weird part is that it wasn't as shiny and as bright as when they did San Francisco, which is interesting. It went dark relatively fast, but you didn't notice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I thought it was gonna get dark with on night two. I'll say before
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell type
Okay.
stuff. I was gonna say
yeah, it was well, I thought this was a great stage setup, by the way. I really
It was the
enjoyed
best.
Yeah.
The best.
the best one. Yep,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
hands down.
great stage setup. And usually like the outdoor events, the audio isn't as good, but they did a good job miking the audience or something because they were loud this whole weekend, and it was really well done. So I'll give them credit for that. Match number 2, which was the men's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match with the Street Profits, Strowman and Ricochet, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders. And the Profits won in 8.5 minutes.
All right, I'll go real quick because I was not looking forward to this match. I was like, why is this on WrestleMania? But then they went out there and they wrestled, and I was like, holy crap. They actually went out there, did some stuff. My favorite spot in the match was when Chad Gable did the rolling German on Braun Strowman.
That was epic.
That was
That
nice.
was cold. That was cold.
So I actually enjoyed the match. I thought it was a good, fun match. They did some interesting stuff, and kept the crowd involved. So
Who was the sleeper of the match, Josh?
Who was the sleeper like in the match?
Like just the sleeper. Like they did their thing magnificently, just effortlessly. Who killed it?
The most surprising. Yeah.
The
Most
person-
surprising person.
I think I probably already mentioned Chad Gable. Who you got though?
Angelo Dawkins.
I second that.
Oh, okay.
That boy is savage.
Oh yeah.
I second that. Yeah.
Angelo,
Once he didn't
Angelo's
miss
been
nothing.
doing some stuff lately though, man.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
been
that's
good.
true. That's true.
Look, he didn't botch nothing. He completely ran through every single sequence. Perfectly timed.
Everybody love Montez Ford, so they don't never give Angelo his credit though. So
Yeah, Angelo's
That's how I
man. I
be in
like
the tag
Angelo.
team.
Yeah.
That's how I be
Angelo
in the
come
tag
a
team.
long way.
I think I like Angelo more than Montez.
I wouldn't
Well,
say
look,
that.
I wouldn't go that far now.
I wouldn't
I
go
just
that
do.
far.
Yeah.
Montez a little different, bro. I ain't gonna-
He's a different breed. Don't get me wrong.
Tez, not only is Tez better and more charismatic, he got Bianca Belair, so that dude got him on all levels.
Yeah.
He's got made regardless. He's gonna be like definitely WWE champion. Yeah.
I'm really
Yeah, but
happy.
I would say this though, Dawkins is not in anybody's shadow, though. You feel me? Like he's
That's what I
proven
mean.
slowly
Wow.
but surely, like he can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he can.
Dope.
He's
Other
gotten a lot better from like his early days at NXT when they kept trying to find something for him.
Yeah.
And now when he tagged and became the Street Profits with Montez Ford, I mean, he still does a lot of like lame cultural stuff. Like, all right, the James Harden cooking thing is old dude.
Yeah, that's been done.
the Red Cups is old, but they still be going crazy.
The Solo Cups is all right. I just
Yeah.
No, you ain't saying when he was
It's
first
similar Biggie.
You ain't saying when he first in NXT, he was going like that.
yeah,
The little LeBron, little step down,
yeah.
and
He
the powder
was-
toss.
He was doing all the basketball stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, you were a wrestler. But he's come a long way. So I'm really happy for him. And he's starting to, as you said, he's starting to shine on his own. He's always going to be a tag team guy. He's never going to be a successful single. But
Bro, I think that was one of the like craziest pounces. I
Yeah,
think,
It-
on TV.
that was cool.
That reminded me of like Monty Brown,
Yeah.
Impact back in the day.
Mhm.
okay, yeah.
That was good. And I'm like Josh, man, I had zero intention of even watching this. I was gonna like fast forward past this, but I actually watched it and it was good, man. The stuff was well timed. They actually sold the bigger spots. And it was less than 10 minutes. It was exactly what it needed to be.
I'm gonna tell you why I wasn't gonna watch this match. I had actually went and I was like making some like a little bit of snacks and stuff doing this match, and then I just hearing the crowd getting louder and louder. I'm like, what the hell going on? And I started seeing stuff. I was like, okay, let me fast forward back and watch from the beginning. Because
Yeah,
they going. I heard my TV crowd going ape shit. I'm like, what? I
It
wasn't
was-
expecting.
It was a raw match, bro. It was cold. I ain't gonna even care.
Yeah.
I wish they would stop playing around with Ricochet though too. Like
Yeah.
look, they don't even understand that's Prince Puma, bro. Like
Yeah.
that Lucha Underground shit, bro. Sorry, that Lucha Underground was something different.
What you
Let-
think? You think
Man,
he's
let him
going
go crazy.
Then you go on a Sami Zayn type run.
I think Ricochet can actually pull it off. And I think he's like one of the only few that could do it with or without a mask.
I feel like he could face Gunther. I think that would be an epic match.
They had a good match. They had a very good
No,
match.
the thing is though, they have like they literally retrograded his move list, bro. His little move set ain't nothing like how it was in
Yeah.
Lucha Underground, nothing like that.
They put it in spots.
Yeah.
I agree. I understand what Dave is saying. They kind of like put him in certain spots.
If we
Yeah.
talking
Yeah,
about
like the
guys
Shield.
that they wasting that he wasn't even on WrestleMania. They need to stop wasting LA Knight.
Yeah.
It's another person.
Yeah, yeah.
LA Knight's going to be Mr. Money in the Bank. I'm calling it now.
I hope
He's
so.
going to be
Man.
Mr. Money in the Bank.
That guy got
Well, I mean,
way too much
okay.
charisma not to be
But
doing.
if you look at it this way though, okay, what does that get him? Just his ass beat by the bloodline.
He's
Bro.
going to be Mr. Money in the Bank because they're going to
LA,
eventually.
so you saying LA Knight is is more regarded to win a title over Cody Rhodes?
I'm saying when you Money in the Bank, you can hold it for a year.
And you could use it for a United States champion.
As soon as Roman lose that title, he gonna be gone for the most part until Royal WrestleMania.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I just saw something earlier today. I saw something earlier today, bro. It was like if Roman passes 1,000 days, he beats somebody at the next, like Backlash, WrestleMania makes 1,000 days, right? He beats Hulk Hogan's first record or something around the time of Money in the Bank or something like that. Be like 1,278 some days.
Doing the math. Okay.
Like, bruh, it's insane. Could you honestly beat Roman for a whole other year?
It ain't gonna happen. How long Roman hold? He's never beaten Bruno Sammartino.
No.
But Bruno Sammartino got an early record too. His record than that. Bruno Sammartino record was like 1,400 something. And then his second record is the one he held the belt for like 8 years.
Yeah.
That ain't never happening again.
Yeah.
But we didn't think somebody would hold it this damn long either, though.
You know what? And
Exactly.
I'll say that. And this will piggyback off of like the Gunther and the Bianca Belair match. I like that the champions are holding their belts for a long time.
Yeah. Past a year.
I really enjoy that.
I like that
potato thing. I like that they're holding it and being dominant champions. It makes their reigns feel better, and it makes whoever beats them a bigger star.
Yep.
So,
hey, does Bianca Belair have like a little Undertaker streak going on right now?
Mm-hmm. Well, she beat the best one.
She got a WrestleMania streak or something.
3-0.
That too.
She's 3-0. She's the anti-Sasha Banks.
and
Oscar.
Asuka, yeah, 0-5 Asuka, remarkable. And the first loss was against Charlotte, so I was like, "Come on."
She shouldn't have lost to Charlotte.
Yeah.
We all.
But now let's. I think we got another match. One of my favorite matches of the night.
Yes. So match 3, Seth Rollins. I'm not saying that.
Seth.
Defeated
One of y'all should find the X-Men intro and just play the X-Men music. That's what it was, bro. It was Logan versus Drip Magneto, boy.
I just realized the colors. Good call.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I peeped it. I was like, he came out like looking like something different, and then I seen like he must have messed up with the color. But it was like a Wolverine versus Magneto, like attire of like X-Men type vibe. So
yeah.
This was one of the best matches. I think for many people they figured this was going to be a show stealer, and it lived up to it. Logan Paul, natural heel wrestler. This is what he was born to do.
Mm-hmm.
This
shit is this.
This is it. So him as their like special attraction match at their bigger shows, just keep putting them with people that can work and let them have a match. Yep. It'll be great. This dude is outstanding. I like him a lot more than I like whatever Seth Rollins is supposed to be. Seth Rollins is great in the ring, but I hate his character. He needs to find something different. And that intro song is like, I don't know why. It sounds like it glitches. It just sounds like somebody like poorly edited a song together.
Hey, it's over with the crowd though.
It's because they like singing "Oh."
Yeah, I'm getting personally tired of chants, especially Seth.
Anticipation. That takes you a long way.
Another thing to tell y'all too, though, Seth has been on a really big losing streak too.
Yeah, and because before we recorded, I talked about the theory that my ultimate theory is that Jey Uso dethrones Roman Reigns. It's looking more and more like Seth.
No, I don't think Seth is going. No,
Seth just I think Seth has not one major match. I think besides him and Bobby Lashley or something like that, when they were like feuding for the United States title with Theory.
Okay, good
Also,
call.
Theory beat him a bunch of times.
Yeah, and then he lost to Cody Rhodes when Cody Rhodes tore his back.
When they had that feud, he lost that.
They lost all 3 matches.
Yeah.
All major matches. So
That's what
beating Logan was a good move, but it still doesn't change nothing.
him beating Logan was
That ain't
good.
clowning, Noah. He's
Logan
already
didn't need to win. Seth needed to win.
Yeah.
But I mean, what is Seth Rollins? Is he a face or a heel?
both. He's a drip god.
After this feud, he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be face. I'm still convinced he's a heel though. That's the thing.
I know he's supposed to be a face, but he's annoying.
Yeah,
Bro, he got like a Matthew McConaughey type vibe, bro. I ain't gonna even cap with you.
yeah.
But
it's like he's dope. Like he just got drip. Look, the man came out there in like one of them Balenciaga lager little joints. You feel? One for none. Wrestled in pink and red.
But I like the false finishes in this match. I like the false finishes in this match. When the KSI came out there, he came and he did the splash on him.
Yeah,
That was cold.
That was a nice move right there.
that was well done.
Who did you think was in the prime bottle, Josh?
No, I had a feeling it might be KSI. I had a feeling it might be him.
What? Oh, I thought it was gonna be Jake, bro.
I thought it was going to be Jake.
I thought it was gonna be our truth. I thought it was gonna be our truth.
No,
That would have been cold too.
Because if you've been watching like their interactions, because they they're business partners, I kind of had a feeling it might be him.
Okay.
Like if you watch like a little bit of their stuff.
Yeah,
You can put KSI and R-Truth in a tag team. That'll be fire. Be like the Miz, Damien Sandow, bro.
Maybe by SummerSlam. Who knows?
No, I mean, look, Logan Paul is perfect where he is. I'm sure they might do a Logan Paul and KSI tag match at some point.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
got to do Logan and Jake, man.
yeah.
I mean,
Anybody that like Logan has been in the ring with has been like, those have been really stellar matches. Like they put him in the Rumble and he did good. It was like he can go out there and work with the best of them. So it's all kudos to him.
he can't like I said, put him in there with somebody that can work and do the stuff that he wants to do. Be perfect.
Every match he's
Put
had
him in
has
there.
been good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mania last
I mean,
year.
I can definitely say every match he's been in, I would like from 1 to 5 stars. I would have given him like a good 4, like something like he's had good matches.
Oh,
Yeah, that's my ranking for this match too. Yeah.
He had a championship match with Roman Reigns, and it didn't look like it looked like it belonged.
yeah.
It did.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And the story made sense.
Yep.
The
Mhm.
story made sense because Roman was just kind of toying with him. And then Logan would hit him with something, and like it's like, oh, okay, I gotta be serious. So it made
It's the
sense.
hand. It's the hand. Got like the little titanium screw.
Titanium.
The hand.
That's why I like the spot where Steph stepped on the foot. I mean, on the hand.
And
He technically has the best punch in the game too. Sadly. Yeah.
it was a good punch.
You show
Yeah.
John Moxley some. Never mind. We're not.
Orange Cassidy used to take some notes. Oh.
I don't even start on him.
All of them.
Yeah.
So what was
I'm not a fan of fresh.
Nobody likes freshly squeezed. I would like for him to freshly squeeze his way out the business.
Man.
Um,
All right, we'll wait till we get to AEW.
Right.
We still on night 1. Go ahead.
The next match, Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch defeated Damage Control.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I said I was only gonna shit on one match, but now I guess this is.
I allow it, even though I love the damage
All
control.
right, let me just get this over. Alita, you're one of the greatest of all time. You're one of the greatest of all time, but please retire.
Yeah, I agree.
She was moving so slow in the ring.
Really bad.
And
She had the Vans on, boy.
EO, I felt so bad for EO because EO was just like waiting for her.
Yeah, EO had nothing to work with. Nothing.
Like, gosh, she was so horrible out there.
it was rough to watch. And like I don't mean this in a sexist way. She looked out of shape. Like
Well,
not out of shape, like,
from traditional Leah, even when
like,
she's
out of
coming
shape,
back.
like out of wrestling shape.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Somebody can like you can even if it's a dude wrestler, you can tell like this dude isn't in shape. Like she didn't look like she was in shape, and she lumbered when she moved. It was kind of hard to watch her out there, and then she got a black eye, and I'm just like, I don't. She's willing to come back, and that's nice, but it's time to hang up.
She has a tough trainer, yeah.
So first and foremost, this is what I just want to, jump in on that because I agree. I also want to say, what is the purpose of the women's tag team championship?
Who knows?
Is
Equality.
Look, nothing against, none of that. Women in professional, it's just
no.
What's the purpose of not utilizing that type? This is what I was saying earlier before we got on. Like,
yeah,
there was a lot of matches like that could have really went down that would have fitted, more so than anything like the progression of whatever storyline.
Yeah,
or they just didn't utilize it.
They should unify the NXT women's and at least the actual.
Yeah,
they can float. They can float.
There's no.
So the initial idea when they first created was they were going to be on Raw, SmackDown, NXT.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what Bayley and Sasha did. That's exactly what Bayley and Sasha did.
Yeah,
and then it just like stopped or something.
Well, they wanted their own, like, I don't know. I can't justify it. I'm not going to try to justify it because it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
I could tell you who killed it for me though. Trish Stratus.
She was good. She was good.
Trish looked good.
Trish was looking good.
Yeah, she was looking good. I'm telling you. Trish still got it, brother. I ain't gonna need.
Hey, man. Hey, Jamaal. Ty was going crazy, boy.
Yeah.
Look, she a snack, bro.
Ty was going crazy, Jamaal.
And then it's like it was a whole lot of stuff going on between that. Like it was stated like they had like a few angles they was gonna play with the way how it ended.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they would have went with the way that they, like from what I saw, like apparently she was supposed to turn heel at some point on them and then help Bayley. You feel me? But they didn't do that. That would have kept Trish on TV a lot, I guess.
Who knows? We'll see. I personally thought Damage Control should have won this.
Yeah, for Bayley. Yeah.
Because I feel like
Bayley on the losing streak too. Bayley's on the losing streak.
I don't know what's going on, but they're not treating Bayley right at all. It's kind of weird because for the longest time, the WWE had no idea how to build up a babyface. Like a babyface would just like lose and be terrible. And now it's like the complete opposite.
Yeah.
They built up Cody well, they built up Sammy well. It's like they completely forgot how to build up a credible heel.
Becky Lynch.
Which is weird because Triple H was a great heel.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Maybe they understand seeing uphanded with Stone Cold, with Ray, with Eddie, with Booker T. They had bubbles, but then after Ruthless Aggression became blurred lines after Randy Orton, Batista, because they used to be heels. They're like,
it's so many. Jack, I totally agree, and it's so many different like facets of wrestling now. Wrestling has so many different layers when it comes to characters, when it comes to wrestlers, when it comes to being a gimmick, when it comes to being professional, when it comes to being technical. Like you're classified in so many different ways. So it is kind of a, eye opener for some people who really, I can tell you a prime example. Somebody like Sonny Kiss.
That's a good example. Yeah.
You would have never seen Sonny Kiss.
Yeah.
Oh. For those of y'all who don't know, Sonny Kiss is like a AEW. Actually, was one of the starters in AEW.
Yeah,
Like,
from day one. Yeah.
like since day one. You know, gender thing, you know, so it was something different. And Russ was amazing, is an absolute star, and just never, you know, things like that happen. It's just understanding the market, I guess,
Yeah,
type of thing.
I don't know, man. I mean, if you're gonna, if Bailey's coming back and she's bringing people with her, then they need to win to be credible.
Yeah, they lost all the pay-per-view matches.
They
Yeah,
haven't
they lost
really
every
won.
single one. No. In the War Games thing.
No, they lost
They
it.
lost, I thought.
Yeah,
The only time they won a match was the Clash of the Champions. It was like Bianca and she had a tag team partner, and they beat her.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
I forgot who Bianca's tag team partner was because it was just irrelevant.
Good
match.
call. Yeah.
But
See, and that goes to show you they just haven't done well with damage control.
see, I remember Jamaal. I told you. Remember when I told you they only brought Bailey back just to give Bianca somebody to feud with as a time filler. I told you that shit was happening.
You did, and it's sad because Bailey's great, man.
Yeah.
Bailey-
So if you don't have Bailey feud with Bianca and Asuka loses to Bianca, who do you have feud with Bianca?
I've already said this. I told Jamaal this. Now I was wrong because I said they were gonna make Bianca hold the title for at least a year because they were trying to get rid of that stench of that shit that happened with her and Becky Lynch at SummerSlam that one year when she just punched her and beat her
Like 30 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought was they were gonna do Rhea Ripley and Bianca at Mania, and then Rhea Ripley beat Bianca for the title.
Me too.
But and I mean Jamaal, he thought Asuka was gonna win the title, and I did too until I started seeing how Asuka was booked, and then because I thought she was gonna turn heel.
Asuka was the best and worst
thought
book
so, too.
ever.
And then, but when I saw her kind of playing around and stuff, I knew Bianca was gonna beat her at Mania. So I don't know, man. They gonna have Bianca hold it again. Her and Rhea do a SummerSlam like,
Or they're going to unify the
title.
titles.
yeah, something like that.
Unification
it's
match.
gonna be like
No.
Survivor Series or something. They're gonna have to title versus
Well,
title.
it's simple. All they have to do is just swap her to SmackDown. She's got a whole new crop of people to work with.
Yeah, especially because
Why? Rhea Ripley is SmackDown Women's Champion.
yeah, but they could
The
swap.
draft
They could
is
swap.
coming up.
I
The
swap
draft
them
is
because
coming
you
up.
got the Dominic and Rhea storyline too. So
Yeah.
and the Judgment Day on Raw too. So it kind of would make sense for her to stay on Raw.
They can
Yeah,
swap them. They could swap them, and then I'm just deathly afraid that Bianca is going to lose to Charlotte now. It scares me because when I say just swap them, and then Charlotte's on SmackDown, I just could just see some
Charlotte taking time off, bro.
Charlotte wins.
She's
Charlotte-
taking time off. Yeah.
Yeah. I can tell you this straight up.
Yeah, but she'll be back for
Legendary
SummerSlam.
40 ghost status. I ain't
Well,
She's
gonna
gonna be back for
40 ghost
SummerSlam.
status.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you what I think is gonna happen with Charlotte. I think Charlotte's gonna be gone for a while. I think Charlotte trying to get a kid. I think I pop a kid up in there.
With Andrade. El Leo.
Bro, do you know how much wrestling lineage that is alone? The genetics of that baby?
It would be doing a black flip right as it gets out.
Bro, Andrade family deep in lucha.
Yeah, like Roman's family.
Lucha.
Yeah.
Charlotte, deep.
Yep.
It's deep in American wrestling. Like, bro, the genetics of them having a baby or something like that is just insane, bro. So
Yeah.
kudos to them on my soul. Take time off anyway. Don't nobody want to keep seeing her win. How do you win 15 titles and lose 15 titles?
You want to break her daddy record.
She only got one left. Bro, whole time
like
she only got one title left to win to tie a father. Like whole time.
She's very much like John Cena. A lot
Yep.
of really empty title wins.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of like, all right, I'm gonna win and flip it real quick. Like her and Sasha flipped it about 3-4 times in 2 months.
Yeah. And Sasha never had more than a month reign. Sad but true.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha,
That's very true.
her only title defense that ended in a win was her last one. And then she was gone, which is
She had a couple of titles when she had SmackDown. She beat Carmella a couple of times.
Okay,
Who is
yeah.
Carmella, bro?
No, I'm just saying that's what happened.
Home wrecker.
She was the I forgot what pay-per-view she beat Bailey at for the title, because Bailey was like the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion.
yeah.
And
That's
then she
back
beat
when Bailey was doing the ding dong. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be at Bailey.
And then
Yeah.
so she beat Bailey, and then she beat Carmella a couple of times, and then she dropped it to Bianca and Mania. So
You're right. She
I
did
would say the title reign they giving Bianca right now is the one that Sasha always wanted.
Good call. Yeah.
and she deserved it. She deserved
But-
it.
Definitely did.
I'm not going to
Okay.
stunt you though. Sasha Banks is the better wrestler.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
we
if
have
you-
we have to do a top 10 or female wrestlers.
yeah, low key, we can.
Oh man.
Look,
Because
We'll save that for another podcast.
we're gonna say that
Yeah.
for another podcast.
Because I'm still debating the 1 and 2, honestly. Yeah.
Hey, look, man.
the next one, brother.
Next match was, speaking of, Rey Mysterio defeated
Oh.
Dominic Mysterio just in
Oh.
15 minutes.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
all right, all right, I'm gonna say something right now. This in WrestleMania history, we never had two epic entrances like that back to back ever. Like the best
Mhm.
two entrances back to back ever.
Agreed.
I was like, okay. I saw Dominic entrance, and then he came out
It's better than Goldberg's.
the van, police van, had the
Yeah.
mask. He looked so natural with that mask on too, man.
I
He
swear,
did.
look like Rey Mysterio in '96.
But he looked
The
but he
whole
looked like a
outfit.
jerk. Yeah. He looked like a jerk too.
Yeah.
Especially how he tried to get that hoodie up and like leaned back. That was
Yeah.
perfect.
But my whole time watching his entrance great as well. I was like, how is Ray gonna top this?
Yeah.
And then Ray came out to nothing but a G thing.
Mhm.
Then to Eddie's music, and then to his own, man.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio had the greatest weekend ever, bro. Can't even. And he created LWO right before the right before the Hall of Fame.
Think about this, man. Think about you Rey Mysterio. All the epic stuff you done in your career. You get to wrestle your own son.
Yeah.
And not just wrestle him at a WrestleMania and a
Yo.
storyline that the fans been behind. Like when Ray finally just punched Dominic and how the crowd just
Yeah.
It
It's
whipped
like-
him too. Wow.
yeah.
You want to know what blew? You want to know what blew me though? Like
Yeah.
the match itself, A1 storyline, A1. What blew me was all the interference. Like I knew Dom was going to use interference, but it's like this was your perfect time to beat your dad by yourself. You didn't need Finn. You didn't need Damian Priest. You didn't need that setup with Priest and Bad Bunny.
Didn't need mommy.
You was doing that on Monday anyway. So like this would have been a perfect time for Dom to prove himself, and that would have been a good passing of the torch. However, I do feel like Rey Mysterio passed that torch to Ricochet a long time ago.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I can see that. Especially how unique Ricochet is. Yeah.
Dom has come a long way since
Yeah.
that, like that smiley,
Oh.
dope, baby face kid.
Oh, another person he done dropped he done like sent love to Phoenix, Ray Phoenix. Another guy.
Yeah.
Pretty talented, bro. It's somebody else. I can't remember the name right off the top of my head, but somebody else that like, bro. El Gato Di Fantasma. The guy.
Ah.
Santos.
Yeah, Santos. Yeah,
Yeah.
fire, bro. Like whole time. He's
Yeah.
creating. If Rey Mysterio wanted to create like a stable to really go against some people,
Oh yeah.
stupid. Under the Lucha Act, it'd really be stupid. Lucha is actually keeping wrestling alive more than the technical stuff in certain aspects.
Yeah. And the lucha stuff is ironically very technical. Like people always think of the flips and all that. No. Watch Eddie Guerrero's early days. Trust me.
It takes
Like
a lot of skill.
it made Bret Hart like cry a little bit. That technical.
Have you guys been seeing this guy?
Vikino?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Him. It's another dude named Commander.
No.
Oh man, watch Commander. He's had a big supercard, ROH.
Gotcha. All right.
But yeah, though, Lucha is in good hands with both these guys, to be honest with you. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio did amazing. Can't get away from that. The entrance was amazing. Story played out good.
I love his transformation as a heel though, man, because when he was the baby face, I was like, I don't know if he's gonna make it, man. But he turned heel, man. And then just the little stuff that like he threw the drink in the sister face, and then he used his advantage to like get a cheap shot on Ray and stuff. Like that's just natural heel stuff, man. And,
hey Josh, wasn't they tag team champions or something like that?
yeah, they were tag team champions. I think
last year. WrestleMania.
No, it was the pandemic. They actually were the tag team that the Usos beat to start their historic reign.
There you go. Cool call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. When Dom first came in as a face, I'm like, he's not gonna make it. Like I saw nothing there. I did not know that this dude would become one of the most hated heels in the business.
You know who you're reminding me of when he first came? That other guy with no charisma that they got, that Humberto Carrillo, whatever the fuck his name.
Humberto Carrillo.
Yeah, he can wrestle, but that guy ain't got no character though.
No charisma whatsoever.
Just stale
they tag team. They got a tag team with him and some Angel Garcia or something like that.
Angel Garza actually, I don't know. They wasting him though. He actually is pretty good though.
Yeah, Garza, they kind of. That was another team that had something going during the pandemic, and they had something going, and then
they just shut it down.
They had your girl Zelina Vega.
Zelina, I think what happened to them was Zelina had her issue with Vince, and she was gone.
Sidebar: Zelina Vega had to teach Vince McMahon what anime is.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And Vince was like, "What's that?"
Zelina,
I don't rock with that shit.
I'm messing with Jamaal because Zelina one of his favorites.
I like Zelina. You know what? In Zelina, and I read an article today that said that now that the WWE got bought by Endeavor, that they may be able to open up their own OnlyFans now.
Ooh.
So if they could do an OnlyFans, I'm sure they'd be able to do a Twitch or whatever too.
Mandy
That's a lot of side money that you can get.
Yeah, I'll say
Rose be coming back.
Golden Goddess come back, baby.
Yeah.
Hey man, she was doing good in NXT too, man.
She was actually doing very, very well. And she
held the title for a year. She held it. Yeah. Look, that was another thing. All these little weird ass, dumbass surprises and stuff. They could have literally had Mandy Rose return, bro, and the place would have been lit up, bro.
Oh yeah,
and she would have made $2 million instead of $1 million.
Would have reformed.
Toxic Attraction.
Bruh.
They can't bring her
fight each other. So they didn't fight each other for no reason.
They can't bring her back, not yet. If it's because I mean I understood why they got rid of her. If you're a PG company, you can't really have somebody out there doing.
Yeah, she was testing the waters too much.
It's one thing if like your personal stuff gets leaked. We could live with that. It's another thing when you're creating this content and profiting off of it with your name. Like I understand why. But if they let them open up their OnlyFans or whatever and like monetize their name or whatever, I think there's no doubt in my mind that she's going to come back.
Wait. So check this out. So it's cool for somebody to take something personal out of my phone.
No.
And profitize it, but it's wrong for me to catch it when I catch it.
In Vince McMahon's
monetize it for myself.
No. Vince McMahon's world.
No, what I'm saying is like when like when Paige's stuff got leaked,
Uh-huh.
somebody hacked into her cloud or whatever and dropped that. Like it's a stain on the company, but it's not like you put that content out there. Somebody took your private content and released it against your authority.
Charles.
Oh.
We can work with that. It's another thing when you're putting out that edgy content willingly, using your neck like it, that's another thing.
Yeah,
I get it. But like I said, if that article was right and they could open up their OnlyFans or whatever, she gonna come back. She should. She had a great run in NXT. I didn't think it was going to be good.
She made it work
Didn't
more
watch
than
a lot of
Liv
NXT.
Morgan.
Huh?
She made it
Right.
work more than Liv Morgan. I like Liv Morgan. She's gotten better after she lost her title, but you know, Mandy's made me a believer.
You see more in Liv than I do. I
Yeah.
want to like Liv Morgan a lot more than I do. She just doesn't do it for me.
You know what? I think Liv Morgan is like Alexa Bliss. I
Oh,
get them confused a lot of the times because they have like similar traits when they wrestle.
Moves too, yeah.
Yeah, moveset is kind of the same. Only thing I think Alexa does is like that little spin twist flip thing
What's the
as
blitz?
top rope. And like the fake broke arm, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, they fight the same. They laugh, they scream, and then they pass out. They don't never tap out. They pass out.
Mhm.
Smiling, laughing, passing out.
In you know what? In Alexa Bliss's defense, I think she actually she started off rough, but her trajectory to me was kind of like Trish's in that they just kind of came in as the valet and they actually developed into decent workers, which was, I didn't expect that from Alexa Bliss was one of them that like,
Who did
she
she
benefited definitely. She was the valet for
The tag team.
Murphy,
Blake and Murphy in NXT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the Forgotten Sons.
No, not the Forgotten Son.
Yeah, I remember them.
No, Blake and Murphy.
Blake and Murphy, because she was dating one of them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she
Okay.
was the valet for Blake and Murphy. And then like once she moved up to SmackDown and she got on Talking Smack, she actually got herself over talking and then became a decent worker. I was surprised, but they haven't used her well since she got entangled in that Bray Wyatt mess, which is just like everybody else. Yeah, that was great. When Ray spanked Dominic, that was a funny spot.
We're back to Ray. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really good match. I wasn't looking forward to it all that much, but it delivered more than I thought, which is
It
what
was a spot in that match where I thought Dominic clearly damn near killed Rey Mysterio.
How about when he did the reverse face buster?
And three amigos. And three
Ray
amigos.
sold that shit like $1 million, like he was dead.
Yeah. It was a good thing he had like the extra padding on his mask, bro. Like it was freaky.
Yeah, that was a very good match.
1 through 5. What you give it, Jamaal?
3.5, 3.75.
Me too.
It was
Same.
good. It wasn't great.
Same way.
It wasn't the greatest, but it was very good. But a match like that, it was more about the story, and it delivered. People
And the timing, and it didn't drag. Yeah.
It's kind of like Josh said earlier. If you got the story or you were a star, you don't have to do much. One of the greatest matches I've ever seen was The Rock and Hogan at WrestleMania 18. They didn't do a darn thing.
Nope,
They
nothing.
did absolutely nothing.
No.
But
I think it was like 4 or 5 moves that they used the entire match, bro.
But you hear that crowd though, you would think they having a
but you
5-star match.
crowd for 5 minutes. All they had to do was look, and they had the crowd in their hands. That is crowd control. That's wrestling right there. That's what wrestling is. It's not all about the flips and the moves and everything. It's about this person. We're having a fight. Are you invested? That was incredible. That should have been the main event. and poor Chris Jericho and was that Jericho and Triple H that had the main event?
Jericho and Triple H, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's terrible idea.
It was a match. It was a match on night 2 that was very similar, just hard hitting, and didn't have to do a whole bunch of stuff. We'll talk about. To me, was the best match of WrestleMania weekend, but we'll talk about that later. All right,
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah. Keep going, brother. Keep going.
Number one, this is one that a lot of people say is one of the best matches of WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley defeated Charlotte, a pinfall.
Yes.
20.
It's my number 2. My number 2.
my number 2 match. Yep.
This is like my number. Whoa, this is like number 3 on me. But this is the greatest women's match that I've seen
For WrestleMania.
Yeah. WrestleMania matches. This is one of the greatest. Like, bro, this is like they got brutal. Like this shit was like Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker or something.
Yeah, I was thinking Bailey and Sasha.
Yep, something like like a intense little, and they had a nice story. Like they fought each other a while back.
Man,
Yeah.
some of them big boots Charlotte was getting. Rhea Ripley was like, damn.
Man, look, bro, she dropped on her face with that German like 3 times.
It's my favorite shark.
Here. I watched Stand and Deliver. They did that exact same spot as Stand and Deliver, where I think Ilya Dragunov gave Wes Lee a German, and Wes did the same spot where he did the full rotation and landed on his stomach. Charlotte didn't rotate enough, and she ended up landing on her face.
Yeah.
So that was, she didn't rotate enough.
Then the ending
They did
to
that
it
spot
too.
the right way. They did that spot the right way on Stand and Deliver. She just didn't rotate enough, and it looked bad. So that was just
No, but look, she still trucked through it, bro.
yeah. She got through it.
You know, like I think hands down, I haven't seen and I watch wrestling a lot, so I haven't seen a really good women's match. You know, like I think that was like the best one I've seen in like the last like 3 years, bro. Like whole time, like
Yeah, that was.
and all like the last 3 WrestleManias, I think that was the best women's match.
I ain't saying that.
I'm a
It
sucker
was better
for
than Bianca and Becky Lynch last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely,
I agree.
definitely better than that.
I agree.
That wasn't
too.
nothing, bro. That was gonna be Bianca was gonna win that. You actually didn't know who was gonna keep this title because that was Charlotte.
You know what? Good point, because even though Rhea should have won, it scares me every time Charlotte's at WrestleMania because she always
Exactly, bro. She
And
got
Charlotte,
like a Trump card.
yeah, and Charlotte was the one that beat Sasha Banks when she was scored by a Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Come on.
Okay, here's a question. Was this, if you can remember, was this match better than their first match at COVID Mania?
It was.
It's better. It's better.
I like
It's better.
their COVID Mania match better than this one. I thought this was a little slow.
Okay.
It kind of teeters, but because
The crowd, man. You got a crowd. You got
you got a crowd too. But Rhea's also in a whole different like type of
persona.
You
I
feel
agree.
like we already know Rhea Ripley is the toughest motherfucker in the goddamn, but for the most part.
But Charlotte gets in her head.
Hey, but Jamaal,
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier at the beginning of it before we talk about Hogan and Rock, how they had the crowd in their hand. I'm sorry, when you got a crowd, it's gonna make the match better. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
when you can hear the noise after every move, that man, I was like,
Yeah.
it hit different.
Some of the moves was crazy too. They had a
This
lot
is
of
one that they were definitely in. This is one they were looking forward to. The fans were definitely.
And this is one of the matches that Charlotte gave a shit about, because we
I
know
agree.
sometimes when Charlotte don't give a shit.
if it wasn't for the
It's
Jack, if it wasn't for the next match, this would have definitely main evented.
I think the reason they went hard like that because Charlotte wanted to be in the main event.
I can see that.
She wanted to prove something.
Yeah, and
I
Charlotte.
think it was also dope too that they had females. Like it was a female announcer, it was a female referee.
Yeah,
first time ever. Yeah.
Like first time ever. Thought that was pretty dope too.
It was cool. I mean, Charlotte is one of them who, like, if you watch her face when she comes down, you can kind of sometimes tell when she's gonna lose.
A boo boo face. Yeah.
Yeah, she usually has boo boo face.
She didn't have it this time though.
She did not have it this time. She was
Why she
invested-
always crying on the apron and shit though? Like,
Well,
sad.
that was yeah. That was
It's always that
correction.
one little spot, bro. She be just crying.
She's like, just give me
oh.
that moment, you know.
So
I
she-
know.
It's
I know.
over with. You lost.
But honestly, it is my favorite Charlotte match. I like when Charlotte's messy. I like it like when she's acting like her dad, when like she's like trying to get into their head, trying to do everything they can, and it throws off Ray. Ray's a professional, clean as a whistle. One of goats already. Guaranteed top 5 in my lifetime. I think
And
so.
Rhea Ripley is Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Yes, officially a Grand
Like,
Slam.
And then you
She's
want to
won
know
every single title.
and you want to know what Charlotte did. She's so smart. She still protected herself in that match.
That's what I
did.
mean. Yeah.
Like because like when she did her finisher with the figure 8, Rhea was already by the ropes.
Yep.
So she could just grab it real quick. So Rhea never had that moment in the match where she overpowered her out of her finisher.
Good call, Josh. Good call.
Or was
Yeah.
kicking out of any of her moves and none of that stuff. So she still found a way to protect herself.
She always does. Always does. But there was some, like I said, I thought it started off a little slow. But once they got into it, it really took off. And it was a strong match. Crowd was heavily invested into it. I agree. This is one of my favorite, more of Charlotte's better matches. She actually lost this time, which was good. Because it was shocking to me when she beat Rhea the first time. I'm like, why is she becoming the NXT champion?
She had power, bro.
Yeah, Charlotte's like very similar to like Randy Orton. Like when Randy Orton don't give a shit, you get what you get. But then if you get that Randy Orton that gives a shit, man, you could get some good stuff.
Yeah.
Randy sadly is the best without a championship. It's one of those things where if he likes the story enough, he works great with it.
Yeah.
You can look back at the tape.
similar to that.
You can look back at Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy before he like got up out of there. Like, bro, the ear shit and all of that, like that was you ain't never seen Randy Orton turn to Freddy Krueger like wickedly, bro. Like,
They're gonna show on A&E his rivalry with the Undertaker. He was having bangers with the Undertaker, man.
Yeah. Underrated one too for Undertaker.
They was on a road doing those shows, bro. Like 15, like they had the same match like 15 times. Somewhere. Like, what? Like everywhere you go, you're having the same match over and over and over. Like it's insane.
I mean, that's what you, and it's a shame that it's like that, where it's like, hey, I have to be invested. But that also goes to show that, they need to book their stars better.
Yeah.
End story.
She should be invested. There's no reason why she shouldn't be invested. But they had a great match. Congratulations to the ladies. They showed out. If it wasn't for the main event, they probably would have been the main event. But sorry, ladies, you weren't the best story, so you don't get the main event. The next match was a segment. Actually, it started. This was the Miz and Snoop Dogg segment.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about Pat McAfee. I'm getting tired of him.
I love Pat McAfee.
I'm a big Pat McAfee, but I ain't like this part crap though.
Was that worth WrestleMania?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
I think they were just trying to like calm the crowd down.
Yeah, I think it was a let me up match. I think it was a let me up
bathroom break. Yeah,
I think that's when Vince came back and was like, "Hey,
yeah."
I don't think
McAfee.
remember you owe me."
I think this was going to be like, this is the spot where they just have a match that nobody cares about, like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal or something. It's kind of like Josh said, it's kind of like, all right, we just had a heavily hot, high emotional match here. We need a buffer until we get to the main event.
Yeah.
And this is what this spot was. It was fine with me. Pat McAfee came out, fans loved it. He did his thing. Miz bumped around for him. George Kittle got involved. Everybody went home happy.
I'll say this though. I don't know if George Kittle could talk, but man, I feel like the way he looks, if he wanted to have a future in wrestling, he could probably make something out of it.
Better than Gronk.
He definitely
I
has
think he said he
like the
would
look
like-
of a wrestler.
I think he said he would like to at some point.
He's like a bigger version of Pete Dunne.
So I'm gonna say this. I feel like LA Knight should have came out and beat the shit out the niggas and rolled off with Snoop Dogg, bro.
Yeah, no, LA represent too. He's the only guy from there.
Whole time.
He's a
How
heel.
do you have a WrestleMania in LA without LA Knight?
He's a heel though. That's why they probably didn't do
He's a
that.
heel.
No, he could have. Being a heel, this would have created a storyline. Being a heel, he could have attacked the Miz. Miz being all, oh, hey guys, how's it?
I married Maurice. Hey,
Yeah, got rid of him. I'm kicking it with Snoop whole time, and him and Snoop doing that would have been a great segue and a eye-opening moment for a new superstar.
You know what? Which reminds me, at some point during this, Bobby Lashley came out with his Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
I think that was another problem.
I know that's.
Think that was another problem.
You know what? I don't have a problem with it if one thing happens. Now, since this happened on the main show, if they make a WrestleMania 39 DVD or whatever, I hope that appearance is enough for the man to get paid for being booked on WrestleMania. Because it's not his fault that Bray Wyatt disappeared.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
but you got to think about this, though, Jay. You got to think about this, though. Bray Wyatt issued a challenge to Brock, the winner of Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. We all clearly saw in that match, Brock Lesnar didn't want no parts of Bray Wyatt. Kicked the shit out of him.
Brock Lesnar did not want
so
that.
hard.
Brock was not. Do you know how bad it's got to be if your choices are you or I'm Omos?
And you pick Omos.
No, I pick Omos. That's
Where to
how
begin?
bad Bray Wyatt is.
And I love Bray Wyatt, bro.
That's how bad Bray Wyatt is. Brock was like, nah, I'm going to Omos.
But look, you just had like 29 other people get squashed by Bobby.
Well, okay. How about this? Let's play some devil's advocate. If it was Bray versus Brock Lesnar, night 2, would have been like a 5-7 minute affair instead of 1 minute with Omos.
There would never be a Bray versus Brock. Brock,
but think about it.
Brock ain't never doing that goofy ass shit.
Brock ain't gonna sell for that long.
Brock has created. Brock is never.
Not well. I'm saying that
Brock will walk out. He'll just be like, "I'm just not going to work." He's not.
I think the only person that ever really sold for Bray Wyatt was Seth Rollins.
And LA Knight, like when he came back. That's
I mean, beyond the LA Knight stuff, I mean, like actually really, really sold the gimmick of the Fiend and all of that. It was Seth Rollins.
Yeah, not even reinforced.
And LA Knight was out there slapping him in the face and shit.
And then another weird thing with the Seth Rollins stuff, that was the first Hell in a Cell that they disqualified my end. Like what? He threw a toolbox on the man's head, threw a ladder on the man, he threw like 8 chairs on the man's head, a sledgehammer hit the man's head. He frog splashed the steel steps and the chairs on the man's head.
Man, Jim Cornette went off on that shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
Look, the match, they disqualified the man out the match. The match is over with. He can get his ass up and beat the shit out of Seth Rollins. In like 5 minutes, bro. Comes up, gave him a little Sister Abigail on the concrete like 8 times. It was over with. Like,
yeah, it was some of the silliest shit I've ever seen.
I know. It was a red cage, wasn't it? Like a red cage too.
Yeah,